SEO show episode number 6. This title is Connections and Engagement. What does that mean for SEO? So guys, this is a pretty quick concept. I don't really need to talk a whole lot about it. In fact, I'm actually quite sick today. So I've been delaying episode 6 for a while until I feel better, and it's been like 2 weeks and I haven't felt better. I don't even have the time or the knowledge of even how to edit the coughing and the sneezing and the blowing my nose out. So sorry, it's going to come unedited. It's going to be raw, and it's going to be fully authentic, because what other way is there, right? Hopefully that light over there doesn't cause too much of an issue. So guys, this is a very simple concept. There's not really much to say. There's the concept, then you implement it. I don't know what else to really talk about. Whereas other strategies I've gone into on-page, off-page SEO, and I've gone really practical and, basically show you on a whiteboard exactly what does that mean. Well, this is more theoretical, so therefore I don't really need a whole lot of practical demonstration for you. When you have a business, I'm sure you've heard the concept. It's not what you know, it's who you know, right? Now, that's not what we want to debate today, but that has a lot of truth to it, in my opinion. It still is about what you know. I don't say it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's what you know and who you know, right? It's both. It's joined. It's not one or the other. They're not mutually exclusive. It's great to be great at what you know and have a lot of knowledge and understanding and practical wisdom, and know a lot of people. I mean, that's what I'm doing, right? I go out and I do strangers to friends. I'm building connections and networks. Now, in an SEO environment, when you build content on your blog, and you can go and look up so many great SEOs that talk about, the content roadshow, like Brian Dean talks about it, and Neil Patel have some similar strategies. And so you can get practical with them in how they do this. But the point of this video is to get people to realize that connections and engagement is good for business. And this is one of the concepts that I brought up during my speech on May 17th of last month, depending on when you're watching this, but it was May 17th. What I discussed is great SEO is great business. What do I mean by that? All the best fundamental SEO strategies boil down to smart, intelligent business. Building connections and relationships is good for SEO, and I'll explain, and is good for business. It's what you know, and it's who you know, okay? So it's both. It's not separate, right? There's an SEO tip. And so you should make it a part of your SEO strategy, whether you've got an in-house team, whether you've got a consulting firm, whether you're doing it yourself, or a mixture of all 3 or 2 of those scenarios. The point is, a part of that strategy should be spent into either, like I've got some clients where I'm actually training them and helping them and guiding them and steering them in the direction of building relationships. It's so important. Now, it's like anything, right? Relationships needs time, and it needs honesty, and it needs no agenda. The best links that we've obtained in my jewelry client was they've taken our content and shared it. A lot of our great content has come from PR. And so when we were featured on The Bachelor in the Matty J series, obviously a lot of people picked us up, and so we had the PR craze, and sure, but that is not relevant for every business. So of course, PR is a huge part of SEO. And so getting the brand awareness overall initiative, like getting ourselves blasted in front of a lot of people, in front of a lot of businesses, to get people to come to the site, bloggers and to see our site, by them coming to the site allows for opportunity. Remember, SEO is the long game, right? None of these short tactics, we're going to get results in 3 months. None of this BS, right? It's a long strategy and it's got different benefits. I'm actually going to pause this video. I'm going to see how it turns out, and I'm going to go in the other room because this light is annoying me. I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I'm back. I probably in hindsight should have actually done the video in here. I do apologize. So basically what I was saying before was that essentially this is a long-term goal. This is a long-term strategy. Branding in terms of blasting your logo in front of the right people is smart for business, as I mentioned, and it's smart for SEO. So when it comes to building connections and relationships, again, you really have to think about, you can't have this sort of attitude that what's in it for me, the short term. Unless you're going to pay influencers a lot of money, and that pretty much everyone kind of knows to pay influencers a lot of money, right, to get the content. This strategy is nothing that's unusual. But networking online and building connections through value-adding propositions. So when you approach relevant websites and you give them information and say, I don't want nothing in return. I notice you write a lot of it, like for example, you're a jeweler. You know a lot about how to make jewelry, and you see a blog that talks about that, and you want to build that connection with that person. First, your only agenda should be, I want to provide value to you, and I want to bring awareness of my knowledge to you. So I want to give you something. And so you're a jeweler, you understand how it gets made, then you approach these businesses and say, I saw you've written this article. Guys, can I give you a free article? I want nothing in return. See what they say. I just put my seat down. When you come in with a them first attitude, a viewer first, remember, they didn't come to you, you went to them. That's where you build honest relationships. And over time, you're providing them with value. You might have 10, 15, depending on the scope. You bring them the value, and then later on, when you provide it, then you just ask. And if they say no, you keep providing value. Got to be authentic. This is going to be something where you've got to come from a place of giving. You're like, but then I'm giving them everything. Well, this is the world we live in today, where everybody understands the value of a link. Number one. So it's very hard to get great links just by doing various scheming tactics. You have to be proactive. You have to think outside the box, and you have to do stuff that everyone else isn't doing to therefore get the attention and the credibility to therefore get link opportunities in the future. And by offering value to these influencers, some may link to you, and the best links will come by their own accord, by their own doing, by their own decision making, rather than you sort of forcing the issue. And so it should be a part of your strategy forever, long term. I told you I'm going to be coughing. I do apologize. I don't know why you can't pause it. So it's going to be absolutely vital, this strategy long term. It's building connections over a large amount of time by you giving content to the relevant and related bloggers, influencers, whatever, right? Now, everyone knows that, you can pay and they'll do it for you because money, right? But I think you need to have some sort of scalable marketing strategy built into your SEO. Now, remember, like I said earlier, what's good for business is good for your SEO. The best links that we have in all of my clients, the best links aren't the ones that just drive traffic. They drive sales. Legitimately sales, not even just leads. They drive sales. Those are the links you want. They're good for SEO and they're good for business. And that is what I don't see a lot of SEOs really speaking about. I see a few, the top end, talk about it, but I don't see every common SEO talk. Everything's about tactics and, change your title. And this is all important stuff. This is everything that I believe in. A lot of it is. A lot of keep a title like this. Look at AdWords to create your titles and descriptions on Google. And I'll get to those sort of finite details in a future episode. But the point is, this is going to be, considering I'm sick anyway, this is going to be top level. If you can get into the mindset for your SEO in terms of what's good for business is good for SEO, and you realize that the two are basically connected, and the best links are going to come from your initiative, your out of the box thinking, what you're doing different. If you're a cleaner, what are you doing the other cleaners aren't doing in your industry? If you're an SEO, what are you doing? And for me, I have a podcast. I talk about personal stuff. On LinkedIn, I just don't talk about sort of just SEO stuff. I talk about motivation. Any value that I can bring, I'm bringing it. That's it. That's me. Any value. The connections and engagement happens to be my top and my biggest passion. I'm building groups on Facebook. I started a Strangers into Friends initiative LinkedIn, where my only focus is who's going to join it. Now, I wanted marketers from different backgrounds. I wanted SEO, I wanted UX, I wanted AdWords, I wanted email marketing, I wanted LinkedIn social selling. Marketers from a range of different backgrounds coming together and forming a network. I didn't just want one. I want different perspectives, different people, different professional backgrounds coming together. I've got a well-rounded bloke who understands a lot about voice and understands a lot about Amazon, and all these perspectives coming together to contribute to the entire group. And the more we bring value to each other, we all benefit. And that's what I'm doing. So I'm not just saying all this stuff and not actually I'm living it out in what you're seeing. So the best things that I've gotten have been from people that I know in the industry. It's come from networking. People have seen what I've done, they're linking to me, right? The best links I have are from other SEOs. I mean, what better link can I get than a referral from an SEO? Why? Because I never asked for anything. They wanted content and I gave it to them. But they were asking. But what you can do is figure out who's influential in your space, who's remotely relevant. Cleaners, think of blogs around maybe cleaning or just even like there's sites out there where you can buy cleaners and cleaners in the area. Look for anything, directories or anything remotely that you can provide value to that are around what you're doing, and have the agenda and the mindset that you're only there to improve your reputation. You're there to give without the expectation of return. And that's what you're going to get attention these days, because that's what most people aren't doing. And what's good for SEO is good for business, and vice versa. What's good for business is good for SEO. I use them interchangeably because they're both true. So hopefully, guys, you've thought about how you can action and build connections and make it a part of your strategy. Make it a part of your monthly strategy in SEO to build connections. It's good for business and it's good for SEO. And I don't know how you're going to do it. It's entirely up to you. There's many ways to I was going to use a reference, but the cat lovers are going to get upset. But there's many ways to do the same thing at times, right? There's many ways to achieve the same outcome. But you have to figure out the specifics for you. Ask me questions, comment below, and tell me your situation, and I'll have a think about it for you. But ultimately, it's building connections and using other social media to get your attention in front of other people as well. That's actually, I didn't talk about that a lot in the video, but I did talk about it at the start. So if I'll just run with this. You've got the connections and strategy. You're going to email and you're going to ask ways to provide them value over large amounts of time and large amounts of content. You're going to work your butt off, and that's that's the game for you. But you should be spending money just purely on branding. The more influencers, the more relevant people that are interested in what you're doing and what you have to say and your messaging, the more people that see your brand, especially related to what you do through Facebook advertising, Instagram advertising, LinkedIn advertising, Snapchat. I paid $33 to get 11,000 techies to see my logo. That is worth more than $33. Again, I do practice what I preach. So make sure you invest in branding around your audience. The more people who know who you are, they may even outreach to you. You start doing the same thing. Hi, can I provide you some relevant content for free? I don't want nothing in return. And you may even find, and I didn't even think about this, you may even find that most people, when you're giving them something, they will feel as though they need to give you something back. But you've got to keep the right mindset. Because one, I don't want you to do this if your sincerity isn't in the fact that you're giving. Because you will be exposed and it probably won't work for you. So, I'll leave that with you guys. Let me know what you think. Hopefully it's a strategy that you haven't thought of before. And if you've got any questions specific to your industry, please comment below. Thanks a lot, guys.